The Galactic Council's chamber of historical archives hummed with the soft blue glow of quantum storage matrices, each one containing the documented history of 1,000 civilizations. Archivist Prime Zethkar moved through the towering crystalline structures with methodical precision, her forearms working in perfect synchronization as she executed the most comprehensive deletion protocol in galactic history. Entry 847293. Sol System Third Planet Designation. Deleted, she whispered into her neural recorder. The holographic display flickered once, then vanished entirely, taking with it another trace of the world they had agreed to forget. It had been 3 standard cycles since the Council's unanimous decision. Earth, the very name felt like poison in her translator, had committed the ultimate violation. They had refused subjugation, rejected the Council's generous offer of second-class citizenship, and worst of all, they had somehow convinced 17 other species to follow their example. The rebellion of the rim worlds, as historians would have called it, if any historians were allowed to remember it. The humans fought like nothing we had ever encountered, Council Speaker Thranks had declared during the emergency session. Not with superior technology or psychic powers, but with something far more dangerous: hope. They made others believe they could win against impossible odds. And they had won. Impossibly, ridiculously won. Now, 3 cycles later, Zethkar was tasked with ensuring that victory would fade into myth, then into nothing at all. Every database, every archive, every casual mention in personal logs, all traces of humanity's existence were being systematically purged from galactic records. She paused at archive node 7451, her secondary eyes focusing on an anomalous reading. The quantum signature showed recent access, but according to her records, this section contained only outdated trade manifests. From the outer spiral, she activated the display and froze. There, glowing softly in the holographic matrix, was a single line of text: Earth sends its regards. Her 4 hands trembled as she initiated an immediate deletion protocol. The text vanished, but her scanner showed 17 similar messages scattered throughout the archives, all inserted within the last solar day, all bearing the same impossible signature. Impossible, she muttered, her translator struggling with her species' expression of disbelief. The humans are gone, their world is empty space. We confirmed the neutron bombardment ourselves. But even as she worked, more anomalies appeared. A shipping manifest from the Centauri cluster mentioned Earth-grown coffee beans in its cargo hold. A medical report from the Vegan colonies referenced a human doctor who had developed a revolutionary treatment for plasma burns. A military dispatch from the frontier wars included tactical advice attributed to the human Admiral Chen. Each entry vanished as quickly as she could delete it, but they kept appearing faster than she could work. Her forearms moved frantically across the holographic interfaces, sweat beading on her gray skin despite the chamber's perfect climate control. "Archivist Prime," came a voice from behind her. She turned to see Sub-Archivist Kelm, his orange carapace clicking nervously. "We're receiving reports from archive stations across 17 sectors. The anomalies are spreading." Zethkar's compound eyes widened. "How many stations?" "All of them, Prime. Every single archive in Council space is manifesting these whispers." She had heard that term before. During the war, human resistance fighters had used an unusual tactic. Instead of attacking military targets, they had focused on information networks, not to destroy them, but to seed them with stories. Tales of human courage, human ingenuity, human refusal to surrender. The Council's Psychological Warfare Division had dismissed them as mere whispers, claiming they would have no measurable effect on the war effort. They had been wrong. "Show me the pattern," Zethkar commanded, pulling up a galactic display. The archive locations appeared as points of light, and as she watched, each one flickered as the anomalies appeared. But it wasn't random. The pattern was spreading outward from the galactic core in a perfect spiral, like ripples in a pond. And at the center, where Earth's coordinates should have been, was not empty space, but a pulsing beacon of data. "By the eternal void," Kelm whispered. "Prime that signature. It's not coming from our archives at all. Zethkar's blood turned to ice. She pulled up the deep space sensor network, her hands moving faster than ever before. The readings confirmed her worst fears. Where Earth once orbited, where their neutron bombardment had supposedly left nothing but empty space and cosmic debris, something was broadcasting. Not a world, not even a station, just information. Pure, concentrated information, somehow existing in the quantum foam itself. They turned their entire planet into a data ghost, she breathed, understanding flooding through her. Before we destroyed it, they uploaded everything. Not just their history, but their spirit, their defiance, their... The main display flickered, and suddenly the entire chamber was filled with holographic images. Humans of every age and color, standing together, their faces serene but determined. At the front stood a woman with silver hair and kind eyes, wearing the simple blue uniform of Earth's planetary council. "Greetings, Archivist Prime Zethkar," the woman said, her voice carrying the strange warmth that humans were known for. "I am President Sarah Chen of Earth. If you're seeing this, then you've discovered that deletion is not always permanent." The hologram smiled, that uniquely human expression that had unnerved council species for generations. "You see, we humans learned something during your occupation that your council never understood. Memory isn't just data to be stored and deleted. It's alive. It grows. It spreads. And once it touches other minds, other hearts, it becomes impossible to kill." Around the chamber, more holograms appeared. Humans from across their history. Scientists, artists, soldiers, teachers, children, all of them looking directly at Zethkar with those disturbingly expressive eyes. "You tried to erase us from history," President Chen continued. "But every species we fought alongside, every world we helped liberate, every act of kindness we showed in the face of your tyranny, those memories belong to others now. And humans, Archivist, are very good at making friends." The display shifted, showing the spiral pattern again. But now Zethkar could see what it truly was. Not random archive corruption, but a network. Every world that had ever hosted human refugees, every species that had fought alongside Earth's fleet, every individual who had been touched by humanity's strange gift for hope was now broadcasting their memories back into the quantum foam. "So delete us if you must," the president said softly. "Scrub every official record. Pretend we never existed. But know this, as long as there are beings in this galaxy who remember what it feels like to stand up to bullies, Earth will never truly be gone." The holograms began to fade, but President Chen's voice lingered. "We'll be in the whispers, Archivist. In every story of the underdog who refused to quit, in every tale of the weak protecting the strong, in every moment when someone chooses hope over fear." The chamber fell silent. Zethkar stood motionless for long moments, staring at the empty space where the holograms had been. Around her, the archive systems continued their futile deletion protocols, erasing traces of humanity even as new ones appeared. Finally, she turned to Sub-Archivist Kelm, who had been watching with his mouth hanging open. "Sir?" he asked quietly. "What are your orders?" Zethkar looked back at the displays, watching the endless cycle of deletion and resurrection. Somewhere in the quantum static, she could swear she heard laughter, warm, defiant, and utterly human. "Close the archives," she said finally. "Send a message to the council. Tell them the mission was successful. All traces of Earth have been eliminated from official records." As they walked toward the exit, Kelm noticed she hadn't shut down the deletion protocols. "Prime," he said hesitantly. "Shouldn't we?" "Let them run," Zethkar interrupted, not looking back. "Forever, if necessary, but I suspect it won't matter." Behind them, the archives hummed and flickered as they fought their eternal battle against the whispers. And somewhere in the quantum foam, Sarah Chen's gentle laughter echoed through the galaxy, carried on the dreams of every species that still believed in the impossible.